How are you? Happy Monday. Becky Lander here with Modern Direct Seller. So excited to be with you for our Make Money Monday. If you are new around here, this is something we do every Monday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. And I pop in here and share some money making tips for your direct sales business. So happy you're here. As you're popping in, say hello. Let me know where you're joining us from. I know for many that might be tuning in here in the US, it's a holiday. For many, it's Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday today. So many people are off work or kind of have different schedules today. We're kind of like hybriding it over here. I'm sneaking in a little bit of work today, but my kids are off of school. So we're going to try to go out to lunch and do a couple fun things in between some of the other things we have going on. So as you're tuning in, tell us where you are joining from. Also, let us know what your direct sales company that you represent is. I'd love to hear in the comments. I'm going to go ahead and share this video. Make sure that everyone can see it across our groups. If you are not in our Modern Direct Seller Tribe group, that is a great group just to kind of tune in and get some free training. We're posting in there every single day. And then, of course, for our Academy members, we stream this over there as well. So making sure this is going to all the places it needs to be so everyone can see it and say hello this morning. I'm going to do my best to keep an eye on the comments, but I know that it's hard to keep track. And this is also over on YouTube for those that are not hanging out here on Facebook. So I think we're streaming in all the right places. There we go. Hey, Jillian, good to see you. So glad you're here this morning. No holiday for you. All right. Sarah, New Mexico. Susan, Orange County. Love it. Good morning. Oh my goodness. Well, today we are talking all around new customer acquisition. So if you tuned in last week, we talked a lot about three different levers you have in your business to grow your revenue. So one of those strategies was to increase the size of your average customer's purchase. So if they're normally purchasing, making a $40 purchase, let's bump that up to $50, right? We also talked about the frequency of customer purchases, meaning if they're purchasing every 3 months, let's see what happens when they purchase every 2 months. That's going to grow our revenue. And the third big lever is what we're talking about here today, which is kind of usually where our mind goes, right? We want to grow our revenue, so we know that we want to acquire new customers. So this is a trend across the board. Raise your hand over in the comments if you want to bring in new customers this year. That is one of your top priorities in your business. I kind of already know the answers. I cheated a little here because in our annual Direct Sales Insight survey, every year, new customer acquisition ranks at the top. Everyone says that. That's their biggest challenge from the previous year and their biggest goal for the next year. So I know that many of you are working towards that. Oh, hey, Paige, good morning. Yep, Sarah, I see you with your hand up over there. Morning, Kim. Hey, Evelyn. So new customer acquisition is absolutely a top priority, right? No matter what stage of business you're in, acquiring new customers and filling up your pipeline is super, super important. So today we're going to dive into what kind of strategies that you can leverage in your business to bring in new customers. And I'm also going to wrap up at the end to share a little bit of a challenge that we have coming up all around mastering your money. So I know this is the time of year we start getting our 1099s in the mail and trying to make sense and gather everything for tax season. So stay tuned to the very end and you're going to hear the details and the prizes that go along with that challenge as well. Yes, we definitely need new customers. Absolutely, Darlene. Hey, Robin. Hey, Casey. Good to see you guys. All right, so new customer acquisition. I want to hear in the comments, where did you get your last new customer? Does that make sense? Your newest customer that you have acquired, where did he or she come from? Was it a party? Was it a vendor event? Was it a referral? Was it a social post? Let's just dump some comments in. Your last customer, Shar, it came from her blog. Amazing. Love that. Where else? Where else are we seeing those new customers popping in from? Google Ads, online party. Okay. All right. I love these sophisticated. Jillian Shar. I love that. More sophisticated online marketing. A Christmas gift from a client online. Okay. Okay. Online vendor event. Amazing. Love these. Okay. Keep them coming. Let us know where. There we go. A product post in your VP, a pop-up event at a local coffee shop. Okay. All right. So you guys know, where new customers are coming in from, right? There's a lot of kind of traditional places that we acquire new customers, like vendor events, pop-up events, online parties. All of those things are the goal there is to get in front of new people and to bring in new customers. So those are definitely traditional ways to bring in new customers. I also want you to think about some other strategies that might be not as typical. So for that, it might look like growing your network, right? So growing your network maybe through a referral program to bring in new customers. It could also be getting out there and networking and going to in-person events, building a relationship with someone, because we all know we have a lot of people lurking. Right? Lots of people. Like I can see that there's 20 of you on watching today, and not everyone's commenting or engaging, and that's totally fine. We know people are out there, they're kind of watching us, but they haven't quite made that leap to make a purchase. So I can't tell you how many conversations I've had with direct sellers that say, I've asked everyone. I've really talked to everyone I know. I feel like my network is just tapped out. I keep going back to the same people over and over. So one, I don't think that's actually true. But two, that means that we're not filling up that sales pipeline, right? So we need to be bringing in new and fresh. And this not only applies to new customers, but this applies to getting hosts for your parties. This applies to getting teammates on your team, right? So the more we're building relationships and we're connecting with those people that have not yet shopped with us, is going to fill up that pipeline and make those conversions a lot easier. So many of you know my 333 model, right? Reaching out each day to 3 current customers, 3 potential customers, and 3 people you'd love to have on your team or collaborate with. That second 3 of reaching out to people and connecting with them that haven't actually made a purchase yet is super, super important if your goal is new customer acquisition, right? It's a lot easier to keep people happy once they have shopped with you and get them coming back for that repeat purchase versus bringing in new. So we want to make sure that we're always out there, we're always connecting, we're building relationships, and we're building that sales pipeline. That is absolutely critical. Yes, 333. Such an easy way to remember that and be really intentional about filling that pipeline. And I have an example for you, and she doesn't know I'm going to do this, but I'm giving a little bit of a shout out to Allison over at Norwex. She is in our Academy VIP program, and one thing that I saw her do that I thought was pretty brilliant is that she was putting on a Norwex Basics workshop right there in her VIP group, because we know not everyone in our VIP group has actually made a purchase. And her workshop was all about the basics that a new customer would need to know in order to make a purchase. So a lot of education, a lot of high value there, and being really intentional about inviting in people to tune into that, to watch that, to join in and learn more that have not yet shopped with her before. So that specific event and tailoring your active selling strategies specifically for new customers is going to pay off big time. One, it kind of gives you an excuse, right? Like, I'm going to do this basics workshop and I'm going to go invite 20 people that haven't shopped with me before to come and learn more, right? That's a great excuse to get people there, and a little bit of a stepping stone to invite them to something high value where you're going to teach and you're going to educate, you're going to provide value before you jump into, hey, by the way, you want to buy my stuff, right? So a really important step in there. And if you're not doing events like that, that's something I would definitely put into your marketing mix and your event schedule for this next year. How do you specifically nurture those people that haven't made a purchase? I think often we think about our VIP group like people that they know everything about the business. They're our VIPs. They've shopped with us before. But I can bet if you're taking a look at the members of your VIP group, that there's probably more than half that have not yet made a purchase for you. So here's another thing to think about when you're thinking about new customer acquisition and being really intentional about bringing in the new. I really want to think about what can you do to entice them, right? And I'm not saying we want to do discount, 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 but is there something that's going to pull in a new customer? Right? Is there something that's going to really bring them in? And your company may provide something like a 10% off your first purchase. If they have something like that, absolutely piggyback on that strategy. But the reason, let me clue you in a little behind the scenes. The reason why companies, and we see it all the time online, the reason why companies, there we go, need more coffee this morning. The reason why companies offer that discount for first time purchases is because they know they're going to get a return on that investment. And what I mean by that is here's a little marketing basics for you, right? We want to keep track of the cost to acquire a new customer as well as the lifetime value of that customer. So let me define that a little bit more. So the cost to bring somebody in. So let's say I'm making a $100 purchase online and I'm being given 10% off. So the cost is $10 to them, right? That they're marking off for me to get that discount. There's probably some other costs involved, wherever they're doing their advertising and their marketing to bring me in as a new customer as well. But they know that over the lifetime of me being a customer, I'm going to purchase 8 times. We're making numbers up here, right? But they're going to see me make $800 purchases. So they know that over a lifetime, I'm going to make $800 in purchases. So taking $10 off that first order pays off big time. So if your company has a first-time customer discount, definitely tap into that. And if they don't, then you can kind of think about what that looks like for you. Again, I don't want you doing crazy discounts. Maybe it's a bonus gift for first-time customers. Maybe it's free shipping. Maybe there's something else that you're doing special for those new customers that you're bringing in. But if you are spending a little to get a new customer, it's going to pay off for you, right? It's going to pay off in the long haul once that customer has made their first purchase, and then you do an awesome job at all your customer service. They come back again and again and again for more purchases thereafter. So good question coming in from Holly over here. So you invite people in your group to the workshop. Yeah, so I would be inviting, so back to the Allison example about the basics workshop, there's people in your group that I would specifically send a message to and say, hey, I know you've been hanging around for a little while in here. I want to let you know that I'm doing a basics workshop that I think you're going to absolutely love. It's on Tuesday at 6 o'clock right here in the group. Can you make it? That's it. As simple as that. But you're going to extend an invite specifically to those people that you think will benefit from it. They might already be in the group, which is great, but it's also an excuse to invite people that have not yet joined your group to come into the group and learn from that. And one thing that I love about that strategy is you're also going to get validation from your VIPers that love, love, love the product, right? Like we all have our super fans that are in there saying like, yes, oh my gosh, you need this. You got to try this, or I love using it for that. So not only are you going to be educating, but you're also going to get visibility among those people that have shopped with you before that are going to vouch for you and create a little bit more buzz around what you have to share and credibility for the products you're offering. So I would absolutely throw that into your mix. If you're thinking about new customer acquisition, or if you're feeling like it's been a little while since you brought in some new people, you don't need to wait until your next hostess. You don't need to wait until your next vendor event. You don't need to wait until your next pop-up event. You really could take action on this and make it happen. I mean, literally this week. Like you could start today, plan it for Thursday, and you'll have new customers on Friday. Honestly, it's as simple as that. Okay, so I shared the Allison example. We talked about traditional ways to acquire new customers. Bottom line here, though, let me loop back to that example real quick. That you still are going to need to ask for the sale, right? You're going to invite them to the event. They're going to learn more about it, but you are going to still need to check back in with them and ask for that sale specifically. So I think sometimes we forget that part, but people need that little prompt or that reach out where you're saying, I'm here for you. What questions do you have? Is there anything else I can get answered for you? I'd love to help you out. So make sure that you're also asking. Okay, we talked about new customer incentives. So I think we just about covered it, right? So I'd love to hear over in the comments one takeaway, one takeaway as you are thinking about new customer acquisition and what that looks like for you and your business, what you can easily do and implement maybe quickly, maybe this week. I'd love to hear that. And while you are sharing that, I also want to share with you a little bit of a challenge that we have coming up. So, our Modern Direct Seller Academy is jam-packed of all kinds of things. Shout out to my Academy members. And one of the things that we thought could be really cool and really fun this week was to do a little bit of a challenge around mastering your money. Now, after working with thousands of direct sellers, I know this is not the most popular topic. Here's the thing. I know that most of us don't have a bookkeeping or an accounting background or enjoy tax prep. I know that's not super fun. I know that much about you. But what I also know is that we all need to get organized for tax season, which is coming up very soon. And we also all need a system here in 2023 to make tax season next year a little bit less painful. There we go. So what we've put together is a Master Your Money challenge, and it's going to kick off later this week. I think it's either on Wednesday or Thursday over in the Academy. There'll be a post about it. You'll get all the details about it. But in that challenge, we are putting together a checklist. Sorry, my phone is beeping like crazy over here. 1 minute. Let me turn this off. My kids are downloading things and I'm getting notifications. Tricky. Always watching. So this challenge is going to have a checklist of things that you need to gather to get ready for tax season. And we have a really simple checklist. I have a YouTube video coming out on this later on this week to get very clear on what kind of paperwork we need to have in our hands, what kind of homework we need to do to be ready to file our taxes from 2022. And then we also have some tutorials coming in on systems you can use as simple as a income and expense tracker spreadsheet, or working with our partners over at Direct Sidekick. They do specifically direct sales accounting and bookkeeping and tracking. And we are going to do some demos on how to get those systems set up. And so you're kind of, you got a little bit of a process in place for the rest of the year. And you're not scrambling this time next year as you're trying to figure out what your total income, expenses, your P&L, your profit, all that good stuff is. So I'm really excited about this challenge. And again, I know it's not like the sexiest or the most exciting, but it's necessary and we all have to do it. So we're going to dive into that later this week. Let me just tell you the prizes. Can I tell you the prizes we have? Because I know that if anything's going to motivate you, it's going to be some prizes. So the prizes we have for the challenge coming up is a year of Direct Sidekick. So we're gonna hook you up with an accounting software that's going to help you out. We're going to do shop credits to the Modern Direct Seller shop. And we're going to have kind of a grand prize winner and then a lot of smaller prize winners, probably $25 winners. And this challenge, again, is going to kick off later this week and it's going to run through the first week of February. So by then, you should have received your 1099 in the mail. You should have all your paperwork, everything organized. In fact, we're even inviting Steve with Direct Sidekick over to join us in the Academy for a guest masterclass. So if there's something you're getting stuck on or hung up on or you need help with, he is going to come in and actually workshop it out with us, which I'm really excited about. He's great and so helpful. And it's really going to set the tone for the year, right? You're going to be on top of your financials for the year, Aileen. Super excited about that. So that is coming up. And it's a little bit of extra motivation for prizes. You got it, Kim. I know. Yeah. So if you're not yet in the Academy and you're listening to this and you're thinking, oh, this is something on my to-do list, pop into the Academy. Come join us. Hang out. You can come to that masterclass. We have group coaching happening tomorrow with me. That's going to be really great. And then we also have our Collab and Connect with Susan later this month for some networking. And last thing, I'm headed to Dallas this week. In just a couple days, I'm going to be there through Saturday for the keynote at Lemongrass Spa, and I'm arranging a couple of meetups. So if you are in the Dallas area and you want to connect in real life, we're bringing some swag with us. We have some fun stuff going on. So we're super excited to be in Dallas and would love to connect with you. So feel free to shoot me a message. I'm more than happy to let you know my schedule and kind of where you might be able to plug in and come hang out as well. So all kinds of good stuff going on. We are kicking off this year strong, really rolling through the month of January. And I'm excited to hear how you're able to implement these strategies when it comes to new customer acquisition, bringing new people into your business, and want to hear those wins. So when I come back next Monday for our Make Money Monday, I want to hear some wins on that. All right, my friends, it is so good to see all of you. If you're new around here, make sure you're hanging out over in our group. Come check us out over in the Modern Direct Seller Academy, and definitely tune in next week, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, for our next Make Money Monday.